Let's address the top story, which is likely to be the top story. The Reserve Bank of India will announce its monetary policy decision in the next couple of hours. And the CNBC-TV18 poll expects the Monetary Policy Committee to hold rates steady. 100% of the participants polled expect a status quo on rates and stance. My colleague Latha is here with the editor's take. Latha.
Yes, it's not going to be a rate cut for sure or a rate hike. So we have to look for other things in the policy. Now, there is an expectation, or at least I'm in that camp, that there can be a slight dovish tone in some fashion in the policy. And the reasons are, well, obviously, fiscal deficit has come in lower than expected, and a lower fiscal deficit is always disinflationary. Secondly, the inflation readings for November and December have undershot the Reserve Bank's own forecast. Of course, they were lower than market forecasts. By a good 20-25 basis points, they are lower. And core inflation, which is what Reserve Bank tracks very closely, is below 4. I mean, that's a goal, isn't it, to keep inflation at 4. So if core inflation comes at 3.8, which it did in December, that should give the Reserve Bank some confidence. And the Reserve Bank's own behavior is been such that they have actually given liquidity. You give liquidity when your stance is removal of accommodation or withdrawal of accommodation. Giving liquidity, is that signifying some kind of a change? The call rate, the rate at which banks borrow from one another for a day, that rate was ruling at 6.75. It was brought down to the repo rate in the last 1 week. So will they talk the walk is what the market is wondering. Will they say that we are now comfortable providing a little more liquidity to the market? And if they say that we are comfortable providing liquidity, then withdrawal of accommodation looks at odds as a stance. So will they smoothen the stance in some fashion? So either they change the stance itself, which is not everyone's base case at all, but will they prepare the markets for a change of stance in April is what the market is watching. Of course, there is a bee in the bonnet. The US yields are still at 4.1. Growth is coming in very strong, and growth always means more aggregate demand. And that can have its impact on inflation. And then, you have some doubts over food inflation as well. It's not fallen as much as it falls in other winters. Is a complaint some economists have, especially pulses. So they could build a case on the other side and remain extremely even-toned. But the point is, you can't get bad news from the Reserve Bank. Either you get more of the same, or you actually get good news in the sense of easier liquidity. That's how I think we should go into the policy.
All right. So the other one, Latha, thanks very much for that. The other one, apart from the policy, I think, which will be in focus, is Paytm, of course, right? I think this will be the first time on the record when we will hear from the RBI, and I'm sure there'll be lots of questions to the Reserve Bank.
I expect the press conference to be hijacked by the Paytm issue, simply because this is either even-handed or a little dovish. Yeah. How much can you, squeeze out questions? Yeah. But you have plenty of other questions. I mean, there are other things like risk weights on unsecured loans. How is that working?
I think we heard on that once from the RBI.
We've heard.
This is the new thing.
But Paytm is what everyone has in their wallet. So a number of people in that press conference would be immediately, oh, my FASTag, will it work after February 29? Kind of doubts. So they're going to be bombarded. How they dodge it, we will have to see.
Okay, thanks a lot, Latha, for that. Lots to look forward to over the next couple of hours. Let's take